Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Marcel Palma and I am doing a tutorial tonight to basically show you guys how to create tutorials. So I know that we've been doing tutorials all this time and yet you guys have no idea of some of the tools I used and some of the processes that I go through in order to create a tutorial. Now I'm doing this simply to kind of facilitate teachers or to assist teachers in creating their own tutorials at home, especially during these times where we might have students absent from class. We might want to be able to quickly create a tutorial or some sort of uh, process to show them at home some of the things we're doing in the classroom, right? So I want to show you how I do tutorials on my computer to prepare for my students and how I do my videos and place them on YouTube, right? So let's see if we can get started. So what I do, or what you would want to have, is that you'd want to have some sort of screen recorder to record what is being done on screen. So for that, I use a tool called OBS Studio. So type in Google, type in OBS Studio, and it takes you to obsproject.com, right? So we click on that. Let me show you the first page. So OBS is an open broadcaster software. That is what it means, and it comes in several versions. There's Windows, there's Mac, and there's Linux, right, or Linux. For me, I use a Windows, and you notice it supports Windows 8, 8.1, and Windows 10. So most computers now comes with Windows 10, and so it is nice to just have a tool. I know Windows brings a built-in screen recorder, but this is a tool that I use to do my screen recording and allows me to do several setups, which I'll show you guys later on. So you can read a little bit about it, but let's go ahead and download the OBS for Windows. So as soon as you click on that, the download starts, and this is version 25.0.8, and I'm thinking that I might need an update, so I'll double check. But after you have it downloaded, what you want to do is to just go through the installation process, and it's just simply clicking. I think most of it is through a wizard, and so it's very easy to install, right? So once it's finished downloading, we click on installation. It brings up this screen. So yes. I already have it installed, so I'm not sure what it will look like. And then it brings up this screen that says welcome to OBS, and you can run through the setup by clicking on next. I already have it running, so I need to close it, which I won't do, right? But the process is just clicking on next right through until the installation is finished. It asks you for a location for installation and so forth, and those are, you kind of leave the default in and you move from there, right? Once you have it installed, it then brings up this screen, which is your OBS Studio, right? And again, this one is kind of mirroring in, so don't feel too frightened or too scared that you're seeing all this mirrored effect. So I'll try to see if I can get a device and record what I'm doing in terms of configuration so that you guys can see that, right? So I have all of mine configured already, and I'll delete these and add them in for you and show you that process. Alright, so this is what you normally would start with, and I'm leaving a scene by default, but the OBS is broken down into several sections. I normally don't change or remove anything. I leave the default that comes with it, and then I work from there. So your scene is essentially the different scenes that you might have, and your sources are if you're adding in, for example, an image, you're adding in a webcam, you're adding in a audio, you're adding in some sort of video. Those are your sources, and then all the other mixes, they show up here. That's generally it, and then you have your start and your stop recording that you guys will use for the creation of your tutorials, right? If you're streaming, then you can set other values for streaming. But for today, I just want to show you guys the basics of OBS and how you add in new stuff to it. So the first thing we want to do is to create a scene and I will call this scene my screen recording, and then OK. And you'll notice it says that I don't have any sources added in. So I want to add in a new source to this, and to add in a new source I click on the little plus sign here, and it gives me a chance to add in a new source. So let's say I want to capture my display, which I'll show my tutorial for my students. Then I choose display capture. Or if I want to capture a particular window that I have open, I can capture only the window itself by choosing window capture, right? So in my case, I'll say capture display to capture the entire display. I'll create new, it is called display capture, that's OK. And there we have it, it's capturing now display number 1. Now because I have dual screen, it captures my other display. But if I want to capture, let's say you're working with one screen only, I'll put it to capture the same screen that I'm working on, which is this OBS. And again, it's creating that mirrored effect. Don't worry about that, right? Just try to keep up with what we're doing here. So display 2 it'll capture the cursor, and then OK. Everything else is default. So now I'm capturing actually the screen that is there, right? Or that is showing on screen. So it's capturing the same OBS, and this mirrored effect looks real confusing. But I'll still throw it out, and then I'll see if I can add in a recorded version where I'll put a recording device in front of the screen, which I really don't like. You can also add in, so I have my display capture. So let's say I want to show my students how to create and Excel, right? I'll open Excel, and this is actually recording on screen right now. And so everything I'm doing here on screen, I can have my audio and I can show them, oh, this is how you calculate the feed in terms of pound and the cost of, let's say, $3. I can tell them then you can use the equal followed by this cell times this cell, and then OK. And so you're creating an instructional video that they can follow, right? But it's in a video format. Once you have that, that's essentially how your display is capturing. You can then stop recording, and this can be found in the default folder that was set during installation, which would be inside my videos as captured display, right, or captured video. You might also want to add in a webcam if you're using a webcam. So say for example, I want to add in a webcam. I click on plus on the sources, and then I would click on video capture device. So I'll call this video capture device webcam, and then OK. And because I have a webcam attached to my OBS Studio or to my computer, I can then choose the Logitech webcam. I also have my game capture, which is my Elgato HD60, and that comes with 2 different capturing methods, right? So for you, you might have a webcam that you're using, or using the webcam from your laptop. This will automatically be picked up, and you simply need to add it in as a source. So webcam, everything else I leave as default. There is no need for you to change these now, and then OK. And then of course you can move this around. So you notice when I do my tutorials, I put my screen right here in the corner, and this is what my students normally see. So I'm working on screen, and they see my image here in the corner. So even when I have this open, you might be seeing my image here on the corner right now, right? So that's adding in your source. You can have multiple sources, and I will cover this later on my YouTube channel also, where you can use OBS Studio with multiple sources. Good. So that's generally it. So from here on, you will just do your recording with all the procedures that you're explaining and so forth, and then stop recording. Once I've stopped my recording, I can then locate my recording to where it was saved. In my case, I have it saved to my videos, and it's saved under recording here. And then I can open those and play those back, or send them to my students for viewing. So that's pretty much it. I'm hoping this helps in terms of having you set up OBS Studio. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, let's do that. Leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment if you have any comments concerning the video. And like always, guys, be safe and go geek yourself.